Hello friends, welcome back. If you're planning to move to Atlanta in 2026, I need to lovingly tell you something straight. The Georgia is so cheap version, which you already heard about a few years ago, that one is gone. But what replaced it is actually better, and you have options to leverage, and you don't feel like you have to make a life decision in 17 minutes in somebody else's driveway. So I'm going to walk you through what is happening right now in early 2026, and more importantly, what it means for you if you are relocating, because the frenzy is over and strategy is back. Quick promise, this is not the hype, this is not the doom, and this is the honest middle, and I will keep it practical. And yes, I'm gonna give you a simple checklist at the end so you don't miss the stuff that costs people real money. Ready? Let's go. In January 2026, Atlanta had one of the highest contract cancellations rate in the country. 18.5% of the deal fall apart after going under contract. Second, almost 1 in 5 buyers say, nope, I'm out. That sounds scary until you understand what it really means. If means buyer or acting like buyers, again, they are inspecting, they are negotiating, and they are walking away when the numbers do not make sense. Or when the home has problems, the seller refuses to address those problems, and this is not a crisis, that is a market doing what market's supposed to do, correcting it, balancing it, and we are moving from a high pressure market where you feel like you are against 43 other people and a suitcase full of cash. And now this is a good news, because here is the mindset shift for 2026. You do not just win a house, you buy a house. And those two things are very different. If you can leave me a comment below and just tell me which one are you, on which team. I want to win fast, or the team I want to buy smart. No judgment, either way. I just want to know who I am talking about. Second, what the high cancellation rate means, it tells us your leverage. So what is the 18.5% cancellation rate tells in real life? It tells us two things. First, buyer has leverage again. Not everywhere, not every price point, but overall, the power dynamic and is not one-sided anymore. In 2021 and 2022, a lot of buyers were basically told, take it or leave it. No repair, no concession, no question. Smile and sign. In 2026, the buyer playbook is back, and it looks like this is your inspection, you request repairs or credit, you compare that home to the other options on the market, and if the seller is unreasonable, you walk. And the second thing it tells us, inventory is no longer suffocating. It's not the tight explanation that was before. What does it mean? Buyer have more choices. In normal human language, there are more homes to pick from, so you do not have to force a relationship with the first house and text you back, and is how people end up with regrets and expensive surprises. So if you're relocating, this is the moment where you can actually slow down enough to make a confident decision. And yes, you still need to be prepared, but you do not need to panic. Number 3, mortgage rates in the high 5s to low 6. Now let's talk payments, because that is really the reality that decides the neighborhood. In the late February 2026 many daily tracker, we're showing an average of 30 years fixed rate sitting in the high 5s to about low 6 nationally, depending on the source. And since then, in early March, they were ticked around 6% again in several reports. So here is the honest truth. You will hear someone say rates are on the 5s and someone else say rates are on the 6. And both can be right, because rates depends on your credit score, down payment, loan type, points, and timing. But the big picture is this. We are not living in the 7 and 8% land anymore. And that really matters, because rates moves even a little, your monthly payments moves a lot. Quick example, on a $500,000 purchase, a 1% change in a rate can be a difference between feeling comfortable and feeling like you need a second job selling popcorn in your kid's baseball game. And here is the important warning. When rates ease, even slightly, more buyers jump back in, the fence sitter becomes shopper, and the shopper become offer writers. So what I am saying in the real life is this: some areas are cooling and negotiable, and some pockets all already competitive again. And that is why you cannot use headline to make a decision. If you have to look at your specific neighborhood, your specific price point, and your specific timeline community, question it is, are you moving because you want a lifestyle change or because your job is moving you? Type the lifestyle or job in the comments. Number 4, the property taxes. Conversations what is really right now is how we are getting those taxes helping us, because people get surprised after closing. First, homestead exemption. In Georgia, the real money and the classic deadline, you will hear it's April 1st. The Georgia Department of Revenue explained the homestead is tied to the owning and occupying that home as a primary residence, and that applications are typically due by April 1st for the tax year. But here is the key detail a lot of people miss. The state also notes that taxpayer cannot apply beyond the historic April 1st deadline and might be able to apply into appeal window depending on the county process. So what you should do with that information, do not play with the deadline. As soon as you close and occupy the home, confirm the exact rules with the county board and assessor, because counties can be having different procedures and timelines. Now, the legislation's HB 581 is real, and it passed earlier and created changes including a statewide floating homestead exemption that ties the assessment and the local implementation details. And in early 2026, there has been a major public push and the state capitol around bigger reform, including proposal connected to HB 1116, often described as a plan to reduce or eventually eliminate the homestead property taxes by 2032. But it has been debated heavily, and reported in early March indicates lawmaker rejected a proposal to nearly eliminate property taxes for homeowners. So here's the honest and safe takeaway. Do not buy a house assuming future tax elimination will save you. Treat that as a political discussion until it's fully enshaped and implemented. What you can act on today is your homestead filing, your county rules, and making sure your closing timeline does not cause you to miss benefits you qualify for. And quick friendly note, I'm your realtor, not your tax attorney, so I will help you ask the right question and find the right county office, but always verify with your specific situation, with assessor and your tax professional. Number 5, the prices gap. Atlanta is not one market. Let's talk about prices, because Atlanta is not one market, it's a collection of micro markets wearing the same jersey. If you say Atlanta is expensive or Atlanta is affordable, both statements can be true in the same minute. Zillow's on the late January 2026 update the Atlanta average home value around the high 300. The Northeast pockets can be dramatically higher, and certain neighborhoods move differently than the metro as a whole. For example, the Brookhaven shows a much higher level than the citywide average. Brookhaven markets page, like for 2026 January, shows a median sale price around $814,000 and up year over year. So when somebody tells you North Atlanta cost $500,000, the spirit of that statement, it is directionally true in many pockets, even in the exact dollar gap changes by neighborhood and month. And that is why look at the exact area is what you want to do, not just Atlanta. Here is the relocation strategy I recommend for 2026. Start with lifestyle first, then fit the neighborhood, then fit the payment, not the other way around. Because if you pick a neighborhood only because it's a deal, you might end up with a commute you hate, school you did not actually research, and a daily routine that does not match with what you move here for. And if you're open to other rings, places like Cherokee Hall or parts of Jackson or Barrow that can give you more space and value, but it is neighborhood by neighborhood. Number 6, senior and the tax break. Yes, that can be meaningful if you're over 65 or older and you're maybe with a parent. Some counties do have meaningful serious exception. Forsyth County, for example, states that homeowners who are 65 on before January 1st are entitled to a full exemption in the school, generally the school bond category, and that can be a major annual savings. But again, this is not universal across every county and is not everyone in the same way. So the right move is pick your target counties, then confirm exactly what exemption apply to your age and the income situation, and if you want, I can help you build a short list of counties based on your budget, your commute tolerance, your lifestyle goals, and whether the senior exemption matter for your household. Number 7, the truth about moving to Atlanta in 2026 is that the market is calmer but not sleepy. Buyers are leveraging again, and cancellations are proof that the buyer are willing to walk away. Number 2, rates are not at the peak level we saw a couple years ago. They have been hovering around high 5s to low 6 nationally from week to week movement. 3, tax rules and exemption can save you real money. But if you have to file and you have to verify county procedure, do not assume a future bill will change your taxes until it is final and implemented. Number 4, Atlanta is not one market. Prices vary widely by corridor and neighborhoods. So your best move is to match your lifestyle, then the payment, then the strategy. Here is a simple checklist. Write this down. 1, get pre-approved before you shop and ask for a clear payment range, not just the purchase price. 2, choose 3 targets area, max at first so you do not get overwhelmed. 3, when you are on the contract, plan on an inspection and negotiate like an adult, not just like the 2021. 4, ask your realtor for homestead exemption reminder, and to your closing that confirm with your county exact processor. 5, is senior exemption matter? Pick counties based on the benefits, not rumors, and verify with assessor. If you're moving out of state and want help choosing the right county and the right neighborhood for your budget, I have a free 2026 Georgia Relocation guide, and I can also do a quick relocation strategy call with you. Check the link in the descriptions and tell me where you're moving from, what community questions do you have, and what is about the market that shifts or the market that the buyer have more leverage. And if you're planning to buy this spring or you're waiting for the summer, comment just the spring, summer, and tell me what is driving your timing. If you want week 2 to be about the best suburbs or family or the best area for the value and land, tell me that too in the comment below. See you in the next one.